All right, let's fuck around and get started on a pod. So what it do, y'all? This is, in fact, yo boy Rice, and welcome to yet another 60 Minutes with Rice on a beautiful Sunday. And just like every single motherfucking week, we are going to start it the exact same fucking way. What it fucking do? Hit your boy, why fucking Rice? All right, man. So this week I am actually joined, just like for the last couple weeks, I've been joined by a guest. This week I am joined by a special guest, my homie, my Warped fam, my fucking brother from another mother, my guy, Sam fucking Thompson. What it do, man? It's so good to see you.
Hey, what's up? What's up, dude? Good to see you for what I feel like is the first time in years, and I am excited to be here.
Man, it's really, I think this is the first like face-to-face convo we've had since the last year of Warped Tour.
Yeah, the last full year of Warped Tour.
Full year of Warped Tour, yeah, the last full year of Warped Tour.
I don't think I saw you in 2019 when they did the like last 4 dates or whatever.
No. I unfortunately I was trying to finesse making moves, but it did not play out the way I wanted it to. I really wanted to, but
I mean, it happens, man. It fucking happens in life. I was fortunate to be able to go to the San Francisco date, or dates, because it was 2 days.
Yeah.
Which is great, beautiful, fun, heartbreaking, but I had a good time. Hung out with Danny Gingaro, the homie.
My brother, man, I fucking love that. Yo, I still remember Vegas. You remember Vegas, man?
Dude, like every year that photo of you and me and him's nice, but like you could tell we've been through some shit, and like
the fucking Korean dance circle that popped off at Diplo's fucking shit.
Do you remember when Danny got slapped by the mom?
Yes, I do.
She walks up to him, starts making out with him out of nowhere. And then he's like, "What are you doing, lady?" And then she just slaps him. And then I think you like pulled him away. You were like, "Hey, come over here." And I turn around. I was like, "What the fuck is going on right now?"
Yo, I'm telling you, man, and like I know you've been aware of it, and like Danny knows it, and a lot of people that were on that tour know it, man. But like having y'all that summer was really a game changer for me, you know, because that January is when I lost my brother. And so, I mean, you know, Tatiana, you know, calling me up and giving me the opportunity to come out on tour, and then just meeting like just genuinely good fucking people like you guys, man. Just it really changed the direction that my mental state was going. And I know you and I, we're going to get into a conversation later in this episode and in our interview about, you know, mental health, but I can't thank you and Danny and the Smoked Circle and fucking Brock Bentley and all the fucking real ass motherfuckers we met on tour, man, that year. Cause I was in a real fucked place, and I was, for the first like week or two of tour, I was just like forcing a smile, and then like it just like, man, I can't thank you guys enough, man.
Probably that little, like shell shock moment too, where you're like, you know, you're also experiencing something super rad for the first time. So that in and of itself is shocking, but you're going through this like personal shock and trauma that, you know, underneath the surface. So it's just like layers of a lot of emotion kind of hitting you all at once, man. I can relate, and I know we'll go into it more later, but I mean, I think it was fortunate you and I crossed paths just because of my history. I lost a brother as well, a little bit before you, about 2 years. Yeah, almost exactly 2 years before we met, I'd lost my own brother. And so I do feel like that allowed you and I to relate to one another. I remember having a couple of conversations about it, you know what I mean? At least, you know, you opening up and feeling comfortable somewhat expressing what you could at the time, you know? And I think, you know, a lot of people would have been there and been supportive. I don't, you know, want to make it sound like no one else would, but I do think it probably, I know for me, it was nice to have somebody to relate to. And I know it's a shitty thing to have to relate to, but it's like really, really nice, you know, to have a homie there.
Oh man,
that truly gets it. Cause you know, it's difficult, man. It's tricky. It's very
tricky, but we had our parents Paris dance offs once they got moved to main stage. That was fucking best.
Epic times, and again, I don't think we can positively mention Danny's name enough. I know he did a lot of hand holding for me that summer as I was adjusting from doing little tiny van tours with hardcore bands to doing a Warped Tour. That he was just like the guy, just exactly what I needed.
Fucking hydration, exactly. Man.
Hydration, the whole attitude is gratitude, loving life thing that I know when I was stoked to be on Warped Tour, but I know I wasn't feeling so much gratitude, in my attitude. Yeah. I had a lot of bitterness and anger going on, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know, man. This is good. This will be good to catch up. And, I don't know. I'm just kind of like stoked to be here, talk about what's going on and just talk about life with you.
Hell yeah, man. Well, just like every single week, man. So what we hop into first is to give everybody a digestible format. I know you and I already talked about it, but just for the listeners, a digestible format of this past week, 60 Seconds with Rice episodes. So 60 Seconds with Rice is where I just jump in and give quick bite commentary on like major news topics. Now, sometimes it's hard, man. There's like 4 or 5 really fucking like important things in the day. We just lost his visuals, man. We just lost his visuals.
Get him back. I fucked that one up. My bad.
He's coming back. He's on the way back. Let's see. Hey, he's back. He's back. So what we
don't even know what I clicked there.
Man, honestly, it's technology, fam. Yeah. But so what I do.
Anyway, let's pop this off. Go.
Yeah. So what I do, I just kind of go through it. I run through it. I make some extra commentary in the comments, but this is just a platform for us all to kind of listen to it. I give my Sunday exclusive to the pod 60 Seconds with Rice take, because it would be a lot to ask for me to produce on Sundays and do this on Sundays. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm going to switch over to the screen share here. We're going to pop over. So I don't know, is your screen sharing still not coming up?
Yeah, it's still being funky. I see you, your handsome face. But man. No screen share for some reason.
Well, the good thing about this is that more or less everything is digestible via audio. The visual really is more or less just for Instagram. This could really just be an audio pod, to be honest. All right.
I got it, so that works.
All right, so here goes episode 103, A King and His Court Jester. It's former LA Galaxy star Zlatan making comments about LeBron James and other athletes speaking on any sort of politics. So let's take a listen. Whoa, I should.
Boy, why fucking what it do, y'all? This is in fact your boy Rice, and on today's episode of 60 Seconds, we are talking about Zlatan's comments to LeBron at the Lakers and athletes all over. Hey, we're athletes and sports are...
It ain't coming through?
No, sir.
Gotta
love them live technical difficulties.
Live technical difficulties. We cannot actually get this through. Let me see. We can
finesse this. I could pull it up on my phone and watch it over here on my end. And you can just play it and tell me when it's done playing on your end.
Let me go to my audio settings right quick. I apologize to all the Skype listeners and all the, not Skype listeners, but I apologize. It's weird because...
Listeners.
Oh, wait, speakers, Rodecaster. Okay, hold up. Tell me if you can hear this now. I just switched my speaker setting to Rodecaster, so maybe this will work.
It fucking do. Hit your boy, why fucking
what it do, y'all? This is in fact your boy... Is it coming through?
Nope, not getting nothing.
Damn. Okay. Well, we gonna finesse this. So yeah, if you want to pull that up, man, we can rock through these quick.
Were you on your Instagram?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. I'll put my headphones on so I don't blast out your audio playing it in 2 different places. How about that?
All right. I love working with people who understand feedback and shit like that. So
yeah. I'm listening now.
All right, cool. So this is episode 103, King and His Court Jester.
Boy, why fucking
what it do, y'all? This is in fact your boy Rice, and on today's episode of 60 Seconds, we are talking about Zlatan's comments to LeBron at the Lakers and athletes all over. Hey, we're athletes, and sports are supposed to be a uniting thing, and we shouldn't be divisive by talking politics.
We're not politicians. Hey, guess what? Politicians, individuals too, who just happen to speak politics. If we're going that politicians shouldn't speak politics, then Trump shouldn't have been in fucking office. Because hey, guess what? His whole thing was, I'm not a politician. So guess what? Just because you have a fucking platform in anything else outside of sports doesn't mean you have more rights than an athlete to speak on something that affects your life and your kids' lives and your family's lives and your friends' lives outside of fucking sports. Because guess what? Sports are made up of the fucking individual. The individuals in any industry get the right to speak up on what affects them, you dumb fuck.
All right, so that was episode 103. You got a chance to look at that, man?
Yeah, watch the whole video. Yeah, I mean, I have thoughts on that for sure.
So yeah, man. I mean, really, my point being is like, if only politicians are allowed to speak politics, then what the fuck is this whole movement going on right now? And like, you know, I'm not trying to like, you know, tell people they can or can't have their own opinions, because Zlatan is entitled to his own opinion. But like, fam, just because you're in, like, does that mean that you know, when the government's trying to do some shit to you, bro, like, you're not gonna speak up and say something when it personally affects you, like, but you're white and from Sweden, so like, that's my other thing. Is like, come on, man.
So what you just said at the end of the sentence is kind of where I think his opinion comes from. His opinion comes from a place of privilege that it's really, you know, we call it white privilege. I know that that's like a hot button term for some people.
Dude, honestly, it fits, man. If the fucking shirt,
the shoe fits, you got to wear it, right? Like Christoph Waltz said in Inglourious Bastards, right? So, you know, the whole thing with opinions like that, like, yes, he's completely allowed to have that opinion. But would he even have that opinion if he wasn't raised in a culture of white privilege? I mean, you know, most European countries have been insulated in their white privilege for centuries, you know, from going back to colonial times. And it's obviously very prevalent in American culture as well, since we're basically born from that tradition, you know, and having had our own issues with that kind of stuff. But I just wonder if he would have the same opinion if he grew up in the streets of Akron, Ohio, seeing a community just ravaged by job loss and you know, in cultural inequity and you know, segregation and like those kind of things. Like, would he even have that opinion? Because I feel like a lot of people that have those opinions are just, they're privileged and they're insulated in their privilege, and that's unfortunate because it makes them say things like that they're allowed to say, but just tone deaf and don't make a lot of sense in the climate we're in right now, you know?
Exactly. So appreciate the feedback, man. We're gonna move on, because I definitely want to get to more conversation with you about what you got going on. So I don't want to spend too much time here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can get me ranting.
Dude, because man, me and you could rant on that alone for the whole hour. Like, I already know. All right,
so we're doing 104 now?
Yes, sir. We're gonna move on to episode 104, some sneaky sneakers. Let's hit it. What it fucking do? It's your boy, why fucking right?
What it do, y'all? This is in fact your boy Ryson. On this morning's episode of 60 Seconds, we are talking about two high-profile positions that, in fact, may or may not have potentially utilized their time in their positions for personal reasons and to help family business. Now, the former VP Ann Herbert of North America Nike stepped down after it came out that her son utilized her credit card and potentially her influence in the sneaker game so he could buy coveted sneakers for his company and resell them online for mass amounts of profit. Technically, she did nothing against Nike's bylaws, but she stepped down anyways. Unfortunate, because she just got that position last year. The other is Elaine Chao, former DOT secretary under the 45th administration and wife of Mitch McConnell, who, in fact, the Inspector General in December called for a criminal probe into her using staff for personal reasons, helping promote family business, and potentially favoring Kentucky. And that just got made public on Wednesday.
Alrighty. So that right there, I assume you're all the way through it, good sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, man. I mean, there were two high-profile profile positions within a week, and so I just doubled up on them. I could have easily talked about each of them individually, but I kind of tried. It took me like 17 takes, but I finally simplified it enough to get both in there. But yeah, man, I mean, the Nike situation, I can see how, like, that really just sucks, man. Like, her name's just on the credit card. Like, her son's business is separated, but damn, man, like, he did tweet out, like, it's good to know the right people in town. And I get he was referencing the fact that he just bought a bunch of Yeezus shoes or Yeezys from fucking Adidas, but, like, fam, like, you can't make that statement.
Mother, he put her laundry out there like an idiot.
Dude,
I got 2 quick thoughts on this.
Dude, hit me with it. Hit me with it, fam. I already made all my thoughts.
First off, thought one is that this is what rich and powerful people do. They fucking abuse their shit constantly. I mean, I don't know what we as a society are going to do about it, but I'm just like not even surprised by this. It's just like more names doing the same shit that other rich and powerful people do. Now, second thought, honestly, dude, her son's a fucking genius. Like, he's an idiot for putting this shit out on social media, but that's such a, like, why would you not do that? Like, I know that's shiesty, but like, brilliant, dude. Like, come on now. If you would have just shut up about it, you'd have fucking probably got away with it for a while.
Dude, he apparently, like, in 1 month, he profited like $600,000. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and like, trust me, as someone who lived in Portland, I understand the sneaker game and like what it is up there, because like every day to work, I passed the Nike headquarters. Or not Nike, Adidas headquarters, because it was in the city, and then Nike's a little bit outside the city. But it's like, dude, you had a business. You were just flaunting too much. Like, you can look up at a social media profile, and I mean, dude standing in front of like 500 fucking boxes of. But yeah, man, the Elaine Chao situation, you know, just for a little additional clarity to people, you know, this probe was sent in December while 45 was still in office. And they just brushed it away. They said, nah. Now, she did step down after the January 6th insurrection incident, but like, too little too late. You jumped off a sinking ship, fam. So like,
we should build a guillotine in front of Mitch McConnell's house and drag both of them outside and put their heads in it. And I'm not exaggerating.
Well, see, it's that type of like, and what's crazy is like, they'll come after you for saying some shit like that, even as a joke. But like, these motherfuckers literally put a goddamn guillotine outside the fucking Capitol and said, let's hang Pence and let's hang fucking,
like all them
Nancy Pelosi and all of them. Like, they were literally there. You saying that as a joke? Oh man, the fucking right, left, middle, up, down, everywhere. They'll come after you. They'll come after you.
Taking me out. That's exactly what's about to happen.
I mean, hey, and you're in Texas, fam. Like, beware of Ted Cruz and Greg Abbott.
There was a reason I moved away. Anyway, let's keep going. I
digress. All right, so let's go ahead, man. Shake and bake to episode 105. So this is the second Jay-Z one I had to make in just as many weeks, because this man, I'll talk about it in the copy, so I'll talk about it after. But this is episode 105, Tidal Wave of Cash. What it fucking do? Your boy second major in just as many weeks. So if you haven't heard, he just unloaded a significant portion of ownership over to Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Square Incorporated, that also has Cash App and all that other shit. Jack Dorsey is basically a tech fucking mogul who got money in the bank ready to go. Cash. Well, they just dropped almost $300 million, bought out Jay-Z's share. Jay-Z's still gonna stay on the board, but Jay-Z's making moves to sell 50% to Moet Hennessy for his champagne, and then pulling this move for another move. He got bags right now. His net worth just jumped up from $1 billion to $1.4 billion. This dude ain't making moves for no reason. There's something in the works. All right, so that was episode 105. So yeah, man, I think Jay-Z's prepping for something big. Like they're, rich people be doing rich people shit. You were just kind of talking about rich people doing rich people shit. This is another rich person doing rich people shit, and there is something happening. I don't know if it's in real estate. I don't know if it's COVID related. I don't know what the fuck kind of relation it is, but Jay-Z's got something in the works. Like this man ain't selling off 50% to Moet. He ain't selling 66% of Tidal over to Square for no reason. I understand Tidal's not doing all that great, but like still, it's an artist-owned platform. You're not getting in business with Jack Dorsey to not be making billions more.
Well, okay. I can't really disagree with the logic there. But then I'm a big fan of trying to simplify, right? So like, What's the simplest answer? And like, dude, what if Jay-Z's just got a cash flow issue? And he's like, well, wait a minute, man. Like, like I got this and I got this. I could solve that issue really quick. I got equity, but the cash flow sometimes doesn't line up. It could just be that simple. Now, could he be plotting something bigger? He's been plotting something bigger on every single thing he's done since the mid 90s, right? I mean, so you're probably very correct there, but I don't know, I don't want to like read too much in the guy's business. He probably just needed the cash and wanted out. I'm more surprised that he fucking sold Tidal to Jack Dorsey. I mean, not because it won't be successful for him. I don't know if that would be the guy that I would choose personally, but might be the only guy who could afford it, So I don't know. I
mean, and apparently they're homies, and Jack Dorsey is like he just got in bed with Joe Budden, with the Joe Budden podcast. He just became like they sponsor that podcast, and that's been one of the top podcasts in the world for the last few years. So they're really, and I think Cash App is an app, as someone who works in the hip hop industry a lot, Cash App is like the main form. The reason I have Cash App is because of the hip hop industry. A lot of people for PayPal, and that's what I've been used to. And just as more business inside of hip hop went digital, Cash App was the move.
Venmo's for white people.
Venmo is 1,000% for white people. Everyone that's on my Venmo is white.
Yes, exactly.
No. I correct myself. There are a few people there. I got some black friends. I got some Spanish friends. But like, man, it is a predominantly white platform. That is for white girls. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, exactly. That's for Venmoing your Coke dealer at 2 a.m. when you're done at the club.
Dude, honestly, and my thought process has always been, I'm like, damn, with PayPal and shit, you could just say it's for a pizza. Like, I'm trying to pick up the pack. Like, oh, man, I'm going to hit you with the Venmo, man. Thanks for the pizza. Like, they can't track that shit. They don't know if I paid cash for pizza at Pizza Hut.
Hell no, they don't.
Oh, man. But all right, man, I digress. Let us continue to move on. We're making great time here. This is episode 106. Like a light bulb, we're screwed. And this has some shit to do with you, man, out in Texas.
Okay. Oh, god damn.
What it fucking do? Hit your boy, why fucking right?
What it do, y'all? This is in fact your boy Rice, and on today's episode of 60 Seconds, we are asking a simple question. How many states does it take in to screw a COVID light bulb? Well, apparently only a fucking couple, because these fucking states want to open up 100% and light this whole fucking country up with another goddamn wave of COVID. Come on, Greg Abbott, stop fucking trying to default away from your failed ass winter storm bullshit that you can't run your own state. So now we're opening up 100%. No mandates, no fucking anything, no rules, wild, wild west, and now these other states are following. Are you fucking stupid? It just came out that by May we'll have enough vaccines for every American adult where we can open 100% and stay open. But no, your fucking Republican bullshit ass jerk-offs can't fucking wait a few months so immunocompromised people like me don't have to be stuck in the house for another fucking year.
If you couldn't tell, I was a little heated.
There, just
yo, so I record with my magazine Nashville Unsigned, we are sponsored by Shure microphones. This is my personal podcast. Otherwise, it would have a Shure title on it. But I have, I've invested myself into this MV7, and you'll see this microphone and this lavalier microphone more or less in all of my videos because they're the most agile, they're the most mobile. I can plug them straight into my phone. So I had to move that motherfucker all the way down my t-shirt because I was so loud, and I still had to turn the volume down in my movie editing software to 40%. just to make it so it wasn't like completely deaf, you know, like you wouldn't be deaf after listening to it. But no, man, like, and for me, like, I was born, I don't know if I've ever actually told you this, but like, I was born without a part of my immune system that protects against flus, pneumonia, common cold, strep throat, bronchitis, all of that. I was born without it. So like, I was sick my entire childhood, earaches, headaches, throwing up, like just everything was wrong with me that could be wrong with me. And we didn't know why. And it didn't get discovered until I was in my sophomore year of high school that I was immunocompromised. And I was born without this segment of my immune system, and they gave me some blood transfusions to kind of kickstart my system a little bit. And I've been a little bit better since then, but I've also been better at like making sure I'm taking care of myself. When I go to like South by Southwest, I literally carry around a bottle of Dayquil Severe. Like, I literally, like, people, my bosses look at me like I'm stupid out there. The ones who know me know what it's for. The ones that don't are like, this dude's literally sipping fucking Dayquil like it's Coca-Cola. And I'm like, I take a shot every, like, 3 or 4 hours, you know? And not, like, a huge shot. I don't take a full shot because that would be insane. Right. But, like, I take, like, a little quarter shot, you know, just... But yeah, it just pisses me off, man, because we're a few months away from, and I know not everyone's going to get the vaccine. Even myself, knowing how my body reacts with vaccines, I might wait an iteration or two. I might, even as immunocompromised, I might chill. But
hold on. You are talking about something that is very important that I think people need to understand about vaccinations. Okay, you are the person that the rest of us need to be vaccinated to protect. And that's so important to like consider when people consider like whether or not they're going to vaccinate themselves. For you, a potential first version of a vaccine could literally like be life or death for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're surrounded who get that vaccine for themselves because their systems can handle it, you then can go and live your normal life around them in a way that you wouldn't be able to if those same people didn't look out for you. So it's really tricky. I know a lot of that, people like, have very, strongly held beliefs about what they're going to do or what they're not going to do in those regards. But I just like, you're a prime example of a person who should hesitate to maybe jump into it, be very cautious, but needs the community to come around them and actually vaccinate themselves to protect you and let you live your life until you can get a vaccine that's truly reliable and truly like scientifically, excoriated like it needs to be, to use a fucking huge word that I probably should have not used, but hey.
I love it, man. I fucking love it.
So then the hot take that I have though on this whole situation.
Yeah, hit me with it, fam.
So there's two things that happened in Texas, right? So there's end of mask mandate, full open. Okay. I don't have an issue with this, except it can't be with this. You have to have the mask mandate. You have to have social distancing guidelines in order to open up.
Yeah.
I think a place like Texas, some places in Florida, some places in these big sky areas, Montana, the mountainous states with not much population, but just lots of land. I don't see why you can't fully open with precautions. Okay. So I'm not really against the concept of businesses reopening, bars reopening, shows happening. That doesn't really concern me, but it does if there is no mask mandate, if there is no protective issues there, or, protective orders there. And it's great to see that some local businesses are going to still enforce that kind of shit and not let people in, but they're not all going to do that, and because the government says they don't have to, people aren't. And it's just Texas. So people are not going to fucking wear that shit, and they're going to be stupid about it. And that's more of what concerns me than the shit opening up. Like I'm far more concerned with people just not caring about the people around them. Like I was talking about earlier, you're an example of somebody the community has to protect, right? Dropping a mask mandate and social distancing guidelines and saying no more of that, you're good, fucks with somebody like you, fucks with the immune compromised. And that's not cool. Opening is cool. It's just got to be safe, man. It's got to be safe.
Hey, and big shout out, my boy DJ MoneyGreen. He just popped in with a raid. Holy shit, 33 people in the raid. Thank you, DJ MoneyGreen. Holy shit. I hope everybody just had a fucking awesome time in the green room. Oh man, this is exactly, yo, thank you, Miss Nebraska. These tattoos, man, you know, this is your boy White Rice with the double rice bowl emojis. I just solidified it with the hands, you know. So thank you, Miss Nebraska. Thank you. So we are in the middle of 60 Minutes with Rice. I'm here with my boy Sam Thompson that I met out on Warped Tour. We were on Warped Tour together. He just launched a brand new blog called Buzzkill Blogs. So he's kicking it with me today. We're going over some news. Y'all just missed out. We were just talking about Jay-Z making big title deals. You know what I'm saying? This man's over here making moves, but we're going to digress, man. So we just moved on from one topic. We are going to move over. Wow, I am fucking hyped right now, man. My boy just came through. DJ MoneyGreen, thank you so much, man. So we got a few more episodes. So we're going to go through episode 107, talking about a little bit of that COVID relief that came through. We're going to talk about Gen Z fucking with Eminem over the week. And then just saw some shit trending this morning about how sucky Apple Maps were. So we're going to talk about these real quick. And then we're going to move into some really cool-ass fucking convos with my boy Sam here, man. Talk some music, talk some life, talk some real personal shit. So let's get into it, man. This is episode 107, What a Relief. What it fucking do? It's your boy, Why fucking right?
What it do, y'all? This is in fact your boy Rice, and on today's episode of 60 Seconds, we are talking about the relief that I and a bunch of y'all out there feel now that this relief package finally got through the fucking Senate. Holy shit. Oh man, it's been a fucking long time coming for only the third package given to us for relief during this whole year-long pandemic, but that's another story, another day. It got through the Senate after a historic, almost 12-hour Senate roll call standoff because of Joe Manchin wanted some shit changed, but amendments happened, shit's cool, shit got adjusted, everybody's happy. Now there's some shit in this package I don't think fucking is COVID relief, but that's just me. I also don't understand why someone making $74K and still got a job should be getting another $1,400, but that's a different story, different day. It's past the Senate, heading to the House for a vote on Tuesday. I think this is going to help a lot of people, so dope.
All right, man. All right, so let's stop there right quick. Let's get back into it, man. So yeah, actually, to respond to you, let's see here. Who said that? Miss Giggle Shit. So if you still tuning in, it actually didn't pass. It passed the Senate because they did some bullshit adjustments, and Joe Munchkin over here from West Virginia was like, nah, we can't be giving people like the actual help they need. We have to fucking change some shit. So now it's got to go back to the fucking House. So we got to wait on our checks again. But nah, man, I think people need help, man. And like for me, really, here's my thing. Like I lost all my revenue streams come last year. Like all my revenue streams went out the fucking door. I was throwing 4 or 5 shows a month. I was doing shit up in Nashville. I was popping off. My magazine was making money. We had clients coming in wanting us to throw events, cover conferences, go to festivals, do all this shit. We had sponsorships. We had investors. We had all this shit coming in. All those bags went away, right? And so I have been jobless and just hustling, trying to make a couple bucks here and there. And my thing is like, if you are making $75K a year and you have money issues, that sounds like a you problem, not a COVID problem. I don't know. What do you think, Sam?
Well, okay. So first off, you've got a big fat time socialist sitting on your show right now. So my opinion of this is that the government, this is the least that they can do. They could do a hell of a lot more, if you ask me. Secondarily, in Florida, in Texas, in Tennessee, what you just said might be very true. I just moved from LA because I was making that amount of money and I could not survive out there. It is so ridiculously overpriced to live in LA, Chicago, New York City, San Diego, San Francisco.
Fucking Nashville's getting that way now. You need $84,000 on average per year to live within partially the city limits.
That's exactly correct. And so to me, like, I get it. You know, I'm not a fan of enriching the already fortunate. I don't want to use the word rich because like people making 100K are not necessarily
They're
rich.
not rich, just, you know, that, but still.
You're okay. I'm happy that that passed the Senate. I know it's just going to bounce right back to the fucking House and come right back because there's Democratic control, and that's all good. But I mean, I'm just blown away by the fact that the thing that's blown my mind about this is when they went for the first relief bill last year, it passed the Senate 99-1. Okay, so 99 senators, and you know what that means? That means that every single Democrat stepped up and voted on Republican legislature, even though they might not have wanted to. What happened in this vote? You see how freaking close it was? 50-49. That means every Republican said to every single American person who might need that support and assistance, literally big fat middle finger, and said, I'm not going to vote for this because it's Democrats. And that's just absurd to me. I'm more upset about that than anything, man. Well, I think that's bullshit, you know?
It's and that's my thing is like everybody, and like me, I don't fucking believe in this two-party bullshit ass system. That's just me. I come with perspective. If anyone's is watching my 60 seconds videos on my page, everything's about perspective. I talk about it in every single video. It's about perspective, you know, and that's me as a journalist, as somebody, I work in music journalism, you know, my magazine, you know, we work in music journalism, but you still have to provide perspective, right? And so I try to approach even these topics, you know, I understand they're controversial, but I approach it as somebody who is removed from either side. I have zero preference for anything. I'm just about me. I'm about my people, and I'm about the people that I know need help in this country and around the world. I understand what it takes to get there. And unfortunately, we got some asshats who are like, we need to unify. We need to, you know, they're passing shit, you know, they're doing their shit on their own Republican partisanship for 6 years, even through the Obama administration, the last 2 years. And then as soon as it's not in their control anymore, they're talking about bipartisanship. And it's just like, come on, fam. Like we need to just get shit done. Let's get shit done. Stop fucking jerking each other off, and let's fucking do some work, you know?
Yep. Yeah,
but,
I agree.
But yeah, let's digress. Let's move into something that I believe these hip hop fans may actually have a conversation to discuss with. And again, anybody who's tuning in, man. So the reason why we want to have this will be live on DSPs, on YouTube, and all the places everywhere. So if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have anything like that, please participate in the conversation. I'm keeping a close eye on the chat right now. So please, anyone has got any sort of additional comments or conversation pieces, any questions for us, please feel free to toss those in there, man. We definitely want to that's sort of the beauty of this is you can be a part of creating a podcast. Even if you don't have your own podcast, you can literally tune in each week and have a fucking conversation. All right, so Money Green's got a question. What it do, Money Green? Hold up. Let's see. Is he going to come through with it? All right, well, while he's coming through with a question, let me play this episode right quick. This is 108, the FGZ Won't Let Me Be.
It's your boy, why fucking What it do, y'all? This is, in fact, your boy, Rice, and on tonight's episode of 60 Seconds, we are talking about Eminem. No, not the cute ones inside of the rapper that you buy at a store, but Eminem the rapper. So Gen Z is on TikTok right now, and now everywhere else, trying to cancel Eminem because the lyrics within Love the Way You Lie. Now, one, I'm not a millennial who's an Eminem fan just trying to stick up for him. That's not the case. I am not someone who is like wanting to perpetuate violence towards women or stand up to a culture that like perpetuates that. But two things. One, this is an ancient fucking song in music ears. And two, he's not actually out here tying to a woman to the bed and setting the house on fire. It's fucking music. It's art. It's expressionism. If we're canceling Eminem over this, have y'all not listened to the Slim Shady LP? That's some shit right there. But like, if we're canceling Eminem, I got a bunch of other artists for you, and hell, let's cancel museums while they're at it, because they're featuring art with women getting raped and villages getting pillaged.
All right, so that was the FGZ Won't Let Me Be. For anyone who doesn't get the reference the FCC Won't Let Me Be circa 2002. So yeah, Gen Z out here, man, they doing their thing. So Money Green had a question real quick before we get into this. He asked Sam, and I would like to toss this to you. How much wood would a woodchuck, if a wood could chick wood? He didn't say chuck wood, but chick wood. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chick wood? How much do you think, bro? How much you think?
Well, damn, it's always a difficult question to answer because I do feel like, you know, if we were talking about chucking wood instead of chicking wood, like we could probably,
we could quantify it.
quantify that, but as far as chicking Wood is concerned, I mean, I hope he's getting chicks all day. That's what I hope that woodchuck.
He's getting chicked all day.
All the women. That's what I'm saying. I just keep chucking the chicks, man. I just keep going.
Nah, that's my boy MoneyGreen. Shout out Kelly Height, rap photographer. Shout out Kelly Height and rap photographer. Nah, but yeah. Shit. Yo, but I don't know. I think 5. MoneyGreen, I think a quantifiable number is 5 if you could chick Wood. But yeah, man, Gen Z out here trying to pull their usual TikTok bullshit. My point with all of this is 2 things. 1, you can't pick and choose. You got all these white ass motherfuckers out here hollering whoopty. What? Like, let these motherfuckers play that song and holler that fucking, like, I don't even think they know what that word means. Like, let them pull up in the wrong hood in New York City and see if they say that dumb shit again. I don't know. I just picked 5 out my ass, MoneyGreen. I literally Houseway how. But yeah, MoneyGreen. I just picked 5 out my ass for real.
You know what I mean? Like, you should at least get a baker's dozen up in there, you know?
Yeah,
like,
baker's dozen, 13. 13. All right, I agree, man.
13. There we go.
But yeah,
okay,
man,
wait,
so that's really my point is, like, y'all got to do your homework. If you're going to try to cancel someone for literally the art that they create, expressionism, man. Art is expressionism. He's not actually, like I said in the video, he's not actually tying Rihanna to the bed and setting the fucking house on fire. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like yeah, and I hate the word cancel culture, but like, there are things that should be fucking changed. There are other things that, but there are other things like this where it's like, 1, you're 11 years late to the party. You probably were like 3 years old at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yo, like, I don't know, man.
No, okay, hang on. So, first off, I think that there's this thing going on that I'm not comfortable with societally, where millennials and Gen Z have been kind of pitted against one another. And I hate it because I think that millennials and Gen Z have a lot more in common than they don't, right? Like, we're all currently being fucked by the older generations and shit like that, you know?
Facts.
And what's going on is those and that they're using the media to manipulate us to dislike one another so that we don't unite together and fucking take on their bullshit. So it's frustrating because I feel like some of this shit, they say, oh, Gen Z's doing it. Really? Well, 10 years ago, they said millennials were doing it and we weren't doing that shit either. You know what I mean? It's like a perpetuation of a myth, right? Like I bet you 90% of Gen Z doesn't actually give a shit. You know, there's just been some potent tweets that have gone out there and that's what's going on. And I think it's unfair because I think we have a lot more in common as millennials with them than we do with the people older than us. Just to start off with.
Honestly, I feel like you got a good point there. You know, and again, my thing is, just as someone who started off as an artist, someone who still participates in writing music, I write shit like, bro, go listen to my fucking That's All Folks Part 1. Like, now, that's a social issues thing. So, like, when I say these really fucked up things, it's actually to draw attention to, like, how fucked up it is, right? But, like, I still say it, you know? Like, I'm still talking about, like some really fucked shit. But it's like, I don't mean it. It's a, are we going to cancel directors and script writers for these really psychopathic fucking movies? Are we going to cancel the director and the actors in that 365 movie everybody was losing their shit to when dude was raping the woman for 3/4 of the fucking movie? Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, dude, it's fucked up. Like, that movie, like the premise behind that movie is really fucked up, but no one canceled them. These Gen Zers who were sneaking off at the middle of the night when their parents were asleep watching this movie, they're like, oh my God, this is awesome. Sex scenes.
So, okay, look,
I don't know, man.
You're talking to a metal guy, right? Like, you know this about me. That's how we met, was me working for a metal record label. Like, I'm metal, right? So, to me, I think art should be very provocative. And it should be very challenging to people's sensibilities. And I absolutely love when art is like that. What shouldn't be challenging to people's sensibilities is how people live their lives day to day.
Yeah.
Right. So for all intents and purposes, everything that I've heard about Eminem and how he is with his family tells me a lot about who he is as a person, more than what his lyrics might say. He's venting some shit, dude. Like, you're going to see in my blog at certain points some pretty fucked up stories, like shit that I did and participated in. It's just reality, right? But talking about it artistically and creatively and getting it the fuck out of your system, you know, is completely different than acting on it. Then like going out into reality and like actually like tying up Rihanna and beating her and raping her, which by the way, Chris Brown did. And if we're talking about an artist who should get canceled, it's fucking Chris Brown. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm not,
I mean, he's back to being the industry's darling child again. So,
hey, look, talented as fuck. Enjoy the music. Would be sad to not have more of that, but also like he keeps choking women out publicly. Like we have to like do something about that at some point in time. You know what I mean? It's like you know, one-off things happen to everybody all the time. We all make poor decisions, but when you keep having a pattern of poor behavior, I mean, it just speaks a lot to who you are as a person, you know? And Eminem, to wrap up with talking about Eminem's pattern of behavior has been, sure, his persona is one thing, but how is he with his family? How does he treat his daughter? How does he, you know what I mean? Like the people in his circle, you know? And for everything that I can tell, he's a phenomenal human, you know? So I just...
And that's exactly why I pointed out the Slim Shady LP, because like when you listen through that record, he's talking about bashing in bullies' brains in. He's talking about he's talking about burying his mom and putting Kim in the trunk with Haley in the passenger seat and like all the, you know, throwing her with rocks in the river. Like there's some really fucked up shit there. And that was sort of my point on like, do your homework. Like if you're going to try to cancel Eminem, like go after the shit that like really fucking like was out there.
No, I'm with you.
So yeah, let's digress. This one, so this is the episode I had to put out this morning. I got behind this week. It's called An Apple a Day, and so the copy of it says an apple a day keeps the driver away. It got trending that Apple Maps really fucking sucks, so I kind of just have fun with this one to get into it, man. So let's check it out. What it fucking do? Hit your boy, why fucking
What it do, y'all? This is in fact your boy Rice, and on today's episode of 60 Seconds, we are talking about Apple fucking Maps, okay? Apple is fucking their maps. Not literally, but like they're fucking them up, okay? So it's trending on Twitter right now that everyone's talking about how Apple Maps got them driving into lakes and oceans and shit like that. Now, I can understand. I thought it was just fucking me having bad luck, but no, Apple balls, okay? Use Google Maps, use Waze, use something else, but fuck Apple Maps. But that still brings me to this, because perspective's sake, fam, you still have a fucking brain you were born with. If something is putting you into the wrong fucking place or telling you to turn down a one-way, don't fucking do it. Still use your eyes, still use your fucking brain. Stop being Michael and Dwight driving into a fucking lake at the office, man. Come on, man. Where are the turtles?
All right, so I this one because I fuck with The Office. It's a funny show. And speaking of shit that was fucked up, the first season of The Office. The first season of the fucking Office is a really, really fucked up season. Like, that's a different topic, different day, but I don't know, man. I just have fun with this one. I thought it was funny. I hate using Apple Maps myself. I'll either use Google Maps, Waze, or my point with this whole video, more or less, the perspective aspect of it was we got to stop acting dumb with smartphones. Like, I still learn when I live somewhere. If I'm new, I will use my maps to learn the fucking area. Once I learn the area, I continue to challenge myself so that I know where the fuck I'm driving, or I know the back roads, so that, like, if there's an accident, I know which way to go, even though Google Maps is like, sit in this traffic for seven years. Or Apple Maps is like, there's no way around. And I'm like, fuck you, I know there's a way around. I don't know. I have fun with this one.
Okay, so hot take here. The hot take on Apple Maps is I actually love it. I prefer using it.
Okay.
Okay, so, and hear me out. I have a reason for this. Okay, so when I moved to Los Angeles in 2015, Waze, everybody say use Waze, okay? So I used Waze for the first few months that I lived there, and Waze always wanted me to do the impossible thing in Los Angeles, and that is make a left turn. There's no real protected with a light left-hand turns in LA. So if you have to make a left-hand turn, sometimes you could sit at a light for like 7 or 8 cycles before you get to turn.
Yeah.
And Waze kept having me do that, and then it kept driving me into traffic. Now, admittedly, that was 6 years ago. So, you know, they might be way beyond the curve now and so much more improved. But that whole experience just really off-put me to Waze as a use. And since I'm an Apple user, I didn't really think to download Google App. I just used the Apple Maps. And I have yet to be disappointed with it personally. But I'm also not one of those dumb people on the smartphone. I'm not geographically challenged. If I get close to a place, I can probably figure out how to get the rest of the way there, even if my GPS isn't working.
Yeah.
And if I was pointed towards a larger body of water, I probably would not be jumping right into that shit.
Nah.
I think I'd hit my foot first. Come on.
I mean, I just saw it, man, and I was like, all right, what the fuck am I going to talk about today? And that was it. So I did it. So let's digress from that. So today, one of the things about my 60 Minutes with Rice podcast is also it houses my exclusive 60 Seconds with Rice take on Sundays. So I'm going to jump into this right quick, man, and then we're going to jump into talking a little bit about Sam and what he got popping over here with Buzzkill Blogs. So let me hop into this right quick, and let's get shit popping with my Sunday take. Well, click the wrong fucking transition. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, let's do this just like we do it on the fucking Instagrams. What it fucking do? It's your boy White fucking Rice. What it do, y'all? This is, in fact, your boy Rice, and on today's episode of 60 Seconds, we're talking about how my fucking Netflix got hacked last night from fucking Indonesia. Yeah, this is the second time in 1 year that my account has been hacked. So we log on to my account last night, trying to watch some shit before we went to sleep, and all of a sudden it said Tonkin. And I'm like, who the fuck is Tonkin? Tonkun, Tonkin. And the language preferences were set and everything was set. I had to log in, fucking look at what the fuck was going on with my account. And this is not the first time. I don't understand how the fuck my account keep getting hacked. I've had to change my password 3 times. This is really fucking stupid. I don't understand why people, it's fucking cheap. Get your own Netflix, goddammit, and get off mine. Stop fucking ripping my Netflix, you motherfucking people. I don't care who you are. Anywhere around the world. Don't touch my fucking Netflix, you bastards. I like my algorithm the way it is. Okay, so that was it. That is literally 60 seconds. That's how it goes. I got hacked. It is what it is. Fuck. And now I got to remember a whole new password. God damn it.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Have I been hacked? No, I can't recall a time I've been hacked. I can definitely recall a time I thought I was hacked, and it was really literally because I used my login at a girl's house, and she just kept watching shit on it afterwards. So
you got ripped by a girl. Yo, that happens to all of us, man. I'm not gonna lie, that happens to me all the time.
It happens to me way more than I'd care to admit.
Oh, man, that's how life goes, man. That's how life goes. You log into Netflix once, and now you've given your watching preferences over to somebody else who will fuck it up by watching. They'll fuck around and watch Vampire Diaries, like binge watch it, and now your algorithm's like, because you absolutely love Vampire Diaries, here's some fucking recommendations. Here's 90210, and you're like,
no.
But yeah, man, I digress. That is 60 Seconds with Rice recap for the week. We have fun with that, man. So I kind of want to turn it over, man. I'm going to talk a little bit more even beyond this 60 Minutes with Rice. We're going to go into 60 Minutes with Sam Thompson. It is a series that I'm opening up to the floor. Hope to get people like Kelly Height, a.k.a. rap photographer. Hopefully get my boy DJ MoneyGreen. Get y'all on here too, just to talk about your journeys and like what you guys do. But more or less, man, just kind of opening up the floor. So want to kind of give an introduction into that.
Before we do that,
yeah,
I have to grab another beer real quick.
Dude, grab another beer.
30 seconds for my boy to grab a beer real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play some 8-bit music. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man.
Vamp it. I'll be right back with some fresh beers.
Fresh beers. I hope he brings me one. I really hope he brings me a fresh beer because your boy is thirsty. I've been talking for like fucking 55 minutes now. He brought me a fucking beer.
Now I have 2, and it works out perfectly.
Shit, man. Hell yeah. All right. So I kind of want to get into this in the last few minutes of this podcast, man. And just, so again, for the people who may not know Sam Thompson, or my relationship to him. So after I lost my brother in 2015, I got a call from a friend of mine, Tatiana, who invited me to go out on Warped Tour, offered me a job. Well, she kind of like finessed me getting the job. So I went out on Warped Tour that summer. I was fucking depressed. I hated life. I hated everything. But me and my brother were always into music together, man. And so it was a dream come true to really fucking just be out on Warped Tour. You know, this was something my brother loved to do, loved to go to, loved to be a part of. So it was really cool. And I ended up meeting Sam and a couple other people, man, that just fucking changed my perspective on a lot of shit while I was out there, man. A lot of weed, a lot of beer, and a lot of fun. And so he's always been somebody I've considered family. He is tattooed on my tree, life shit. He is right up here. He's right up here as part of my Warped.
I always forgot about that. That's great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's a part of my Warped fam, man, for life. He's a part of my family tree for life, just like MoneyGreen, just like Rap Photographer. These people that have really been there for me. And so I wanted to not only speak with him today and get his perspectives, but also to kind of open the floor, man, just to introduce his new ventures and what he's doing now that, he's opening himself up through Buzzkill Blogs, man. So kind of take it away, man. Walk us through what you got popping, bro.
Well, okay, first off, got to crack the beer. This takes, the effort of the beer to get through this, So, what am I doing and who am I? Man, for a really long time, I've been in merchandising, band merchandising, working on branding and helping influencers and artists like kind of build their brands by helping them create like web stores or going to like live events and like slinging merch. So like that's kind of like what I've been doing the last few years professionally. Like personally, I'm I don't really know what I'd consider myself. I'm just kind of a happy-go-lucky guy. Try to just like make the most out of his life. And the last few months have been really challenging, and I know they've been challenging for a lot of people. But I know for me, it was I was living in Los Angeles. It was really far away from my family. I was not in like the greatest place. Like I just wasn't. I mean,
Yeah.
If you've heard horror stories of Southern California and LA during COVID, they're true. I mean, there's nothing going on. There's millions of people crammed on top of one another. Everything is closed. Everything feels dangerous in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even going to the beach, climbing on a hiking trail is just not good. And I was going through a bunch of changes. I had a change of a job, and it wasn't going well. And I had like a failing relationship with a girl who actually lived here in Texas. Failing romantic relationship, like she's rad chick. It didn't work out very well. But anyway, all these negative things were happening in my life, and so in December of last year, I kind of decided that I needed to come home, and I needed to like go home. I needed to go back to Texas. So I got here, and I was like, "Well, what the fuck am I doing?" And I was really depressed. Like I was really, really, really down on myself and like what was going on. Really just took a lot out of me. And I've always written, like I've always used writing to express myself, but I've never is not accurate, but I don't put it out there. Right. Yeah. I usually, like for me, I write therapeutically to like work through stuff. So I started just writing the story of like what brought me back to Texas. Cause it's a story. I mean, there's layers to this. I was living with a guy for like 5 years, and me and him had a falling out that resulted in a literal fist fight.
Yo, I've had a few of those in my life.
Yeah. I had this journey with my employment, COVID in general, it just, for me, there was a progression, like you could follow the storyline, and I needed to work through it all. I really hadn't taken the time to kind of like go through each of these little things that ultimately came together to bring me back over here.
Yeah. So real quick, man, we're about to wrap up the 60 Minutes with Rice podcast. segment before we move into speaking a little bit more into it. If you could, man, just kind of lead us into like, you know, give us kind of a taste test into like what you're doing with Buzzkill Blogs now. And I hate to interrupt you, man, but I want to separate these two out, kind of give people an introductory at the end of this pod so that in the middle of the week when we drop the 60 Minutes with Sam Thompson with Buzzkill Blogs, we can, you know, we can really kind of push them to that as well.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I was actually right there, so you didn't actually really interrupt me.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I could have let you just fucking go.
We were right there.
Shit. All right.
That's what inspired Buzzkill Blogs, was this process of working through all of this crap that I've been going through the last few months. So it's starting off with that story, and then Buzzkill Blogs, I'm hoping to have it take on a life of its own, where I go from telling this main story in like a weekly post, but then like during the week, the intent is to write about random things that are going on, write about sports. I mean, I don't know if you could tell, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Talk about pro wrestling. Talk about other cool experiences I've had. If you remember, I used to write a warp blog back in the day.
I do.
That back, post those serially, you know? So that was the inspiration, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to use this to get through some shit in my head while also telling an interesting story to the public and, like, you know, bringing people in with creative and unique writing and perspectives on things. Yeah. So that's basically, you know, what I'm doing.
And I know you had mentioned it to me a little bit before the podcast. Like, what is your like hope that it will grow into? Like, I know you mentioned some things that you additionally would like to start doing with it potentially in the future. So kind of touch on that for us, man.
I mean, you know, obviously, like, I kind of just want to create like a brand that is me. So, you know, long term, I would love to launch a Buzzkill Pods. That's a podcast. I would love to do like Buzzkill merch, which is, you know, obviously like merchandise and stuff like that. And I have it all tie into one another, you know, and then just, you know, I would love to be a published author, like in print. Like, so part of my thought process is I'm writing this stuff out, and maybe it can all come together in a book one day and be like a published piece of literature. That's like a life goal for me. I know people don't buy books very much anymore, but it's a dream, right? And so, like, the whole thing that I'm trying to do is I got tired of chasing other people's dreams, and I'm ready to chase my own. And I just want to write. I can write. I enjoy doing it, and I feel like people will enjoy reading what I have to say. And then also therapeutically, like, I'm trying to work through a lot of like depression and anxiety issues that I deal with daily. And I really do hope that, like, me working through my process and sharing the things that I've been through might be encouraging to people, might be encouraging to somebody who's struggling with themselves. And they look at my story and what I went through, and they say, man, you know, seems like a cool dude, but like, I've been through some of this shit too. Like, I haven't been able to relate to a person like this before, you know, or whatever. And so I do also hope that, like, what I do is kind of inspiring to people to kind of like change themselves and be better versions of themselves, because that's what I'm trying to do for me, is change myself and be a better version of myself. So that's kind of the goals, you know, as far as Buzzkill Blog.
I think it's great, man. As someone who has gone through mental health myself, dealing with depression and anxiety, I think being able to find the people that you are easier to relate to. We talked about it a little bit earlier for the people watching that weren't here. Like, you know, when I went on Warped Tour, I was just so depressed. And like, when I was sitting down and like talking with Sam and talking with our boy Danny and like talking with other people on the tour that were really just like, that kind of went through similar situations, man, that just really, it was like, it was fate, man. It was fate that I ran into these people, because I needed someone who understood, and I needed people around me that understood. So it's always nice when you're going through these internal struggles that externally you're able to find exactly what you need to understand you're not alone in this world, because it's so often that you feel alone when you're going through these things, and it's really not the case.
Negativity is easy, man.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be negative, because that's kind of the default position, you know? And I think if I can tell a story that it might not be the most positive story, but brings about a positive difference in a person's life, fuck, even if it's just my own, that's satisfying to me, and that's so much of the goal as well.
And I love that, man. And I think that's a great place to call this section. I'm going to still keep the stream live for anyone who's still watching. I'm keeping the stream live. We're just switching over the graphics, okay? But thank you again for everyone who has tuned in today on Twitch. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in. This is live every single Sunday on Twitch. I do like this afternoon start time. I like this afternoon start time a lot better than in the mornings when I was doing it. But yeah, man, thank you for everyone tuning in. This is also going to be available on YouTube and DSPs on every single Monday. And then we're going to continue talking. We're going to move this into a subsection of the 60 Minutes universe. 60 Minutes with, and this week is Sam Thompson. Last week we did it with. So let's go ahead and we're going to switch the graphic over right quick and kind of hit reset. So let's do this right quick.